So we'll look at how to solve percent problems. Okay, first of all, let's look at figuring out simple percent problem. Now you may encounter, for example, finding X% of a number, right? So we'll look at individually when X 100%. Okay, now 100% of a number means the number itself. Okay, for example, 100% of 5. What is that? Right? It's 5, right? So 100% means the number by itself. Okay. Secondly, if we look at 50%, 50% is really half. Okay. So for example, 50% of 10, right? You know that 50% of 10 is 5, right? So 50% of another number, let's say of 7. Okay. So this will be 7 divided by 2. Okay. Now 50% is equivalent to 1 over 2, isn't it? Right? So therefore 7 divided by 2, and which is 1 over 2, or 3.5. 25% here is equals to, now this one is equal to 1 over 2, this one 25% equal to 1 over 4, right? So for example, if you have 25% of 40, right, 1/4 of 40, this will give you 10. Okay, how about 20%? 20% is equivalent to 1/5. Okay, so for example, 20% of 80, now 1/5, this will give you 16, right? 10% is equivalent to 1/10. Okay, now when you have more than 100%, for example 200% here, it means times 2. Okay, this one means times 1, is the number itself. So this one will means times 2, and 300% means times 3, right? For example, 200% of 10 is 20, right? It's equivalent to 10 multiplied by 20, right? So now you have looked at some easy number here. Okay, finding certain percent, yeah, easy number. How about if you are given 88%, right? Straight away, it may not look so simple. Okay, but actually there is a simple trick to do this kind of question. For example, you are asked 88% of 50. How do you do? Now the trick is that you can actually switch it around, right? So you turn the problem to become 50% of 88. So 50% means half. Half of 88, you get 44. So sometimes by switching the question around, it will be easier, right? Now what this means is of, for example, 88% of 50. What this means is that the of here, it has a meaning of multiplication, right? So 7% of 200, how would you do that? Right, now you can change into 200% of 7 by switching around. 200% of 7, and as I have told you, 200% means 2 times, okay, of 7. Alright, so this one is equivalent to 2 times 7. Okay, so it will be 14. So 7% of 200 is 14. Okay, you can do that by switching the question around. Okay, now in general, this simple trick here is easy when you are given easy number to work with. But in general, how would you do that? For example, to find 36% of 80, right? 36% of 80. In general, how should you do it? Again, involve 2 steps. Okay, 1 and 2 here. First one, you change the word of to multiplication sign, and the percent to decimal. Okay, so let's have a look here. 36% of 80. Okay, so we change the word of here into multiply. Okay, and the percent to a decimal. Now 36% convert to decimal will be 0.36. Alright, so 0.36 times 80. And then the second step is to solve the problem using multiplication, decimal multiplication, right? So here we will have 80 times 0.36, right? So you can do the usual multiplication. You get 6 multiplied by 0, you get 0. And then 6 multiplied by 8, you get 48. Here's my 0. And then once you have done the multiplication for 6, you look at multiplication for 3. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 8, 24, right? So therefore, you have 0, 8, 8, 2. And where do you put the decimal point? Now, you look at this multiplication problem here, you have 2 decimal places, right? 0.36, 2 decimal places. So therefore, you need to maintain the same decimal place. So the answer will be 28.80. So that's how we do the multiplications, right?